Welcome back to the show. It's I Quit My Band. 2 reviews, 1 week on the chan. Thanks everyone for being here. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Comment down below. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok for podcast clips and comedy skits. Get the shirt in the description and subscribe on Patreon for bonus content, weekly episodes. We're doing some kind of monster recap, and that's a lot of fun. That's good. The second part is going to be the next week, not this week, but next week. But tonight, our second album review of the week is going to be for one of our favorite ever bands.
Yeah.
The Black Keys.
A band that has been talked about on this channel. Like, no other band has gotten the Drive-By Strays.
Oh my God.
We could just be talking about just something completely different. And they're just like, yeah, and the Black Keys suck now. So
they are like, for some reason, like the reason this podcast exists. Yes. It was like the Black Keys are terrible now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and it's just like you can always they're always good for that. They're always good to rag on for like a band that was very good and then had some commercial success and then just went completely Toyota thought.
Completely.
Yeah. Like they
Truck
just
month.
Yeah, they got a whiff of that money and they just kept digging, you know.
Yeah.
And the rock guys, they're like Anakin.
They really are like Anakin. I
Yeah.
think that's why that's why it's in our heads. So
yeah,
much,
we're
yeah.
like Obi-Wan yelling
Yeah.
like, you were supposed to be sick forever. You know? Because they are the last like big rock band that reached that point in the culture where it was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, like you're as big as pop artists now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the mainstream albums that they did make, like the albums that like did blow up for them, that was at like a cultural point where it was like, oh, this stuff is popular now. Like this is good for rock music because it was accessible, but it was still so ingrained in the blues and a little bit of lo-fi, like Tighten Up and
Cool Gear.
Yeah, Cool Gear, like Howlin' For You, like, you know,
Yeah.
like that stuff coming out and getting popular was like kind of, it was cool to witness. And then like El Camino, same deal. Like it was just
Man.
weird to see a duo, like a blues duo, like write stuff that was still pretty sick and get on the radio and be as big as it was.
And I think at the time it felt like a path forward production wise too.
Yeah.
Like a cool way to incorporate like old school rock instrumentation with like this modern, somewhat hip hop infused idea, but like it still remained rock.
Yeah.
And then we were proven wrong with that
Dude.
approach.
Yeah,
it
well-
was a way to sell stuffed crust pizza.
Well, I mean, the big thing about the production was that it was Danger Mouse was the producer for Brothers, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, Danger Mouse from Gnarls Barkley." It was like this is so weird that he's teaming up with the Black Keys, and then they just kept using Danger Mouse, and it was like, okay, it's not special anymore. And then Danger Mouse started doing like stuff with James Mercer from the Shins, and like just started being more ingrained into like that, you know, saucer hat wearing hipster agenda.
What can we come to an agreement as a podcast of what their last like good album was? Would we say Brothers or El Camino?
Let's take a look here.
What I'm getting at is I'm astonished by how many albums have come out since, like, if I'm counting correctly, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 records that I know 0 songs from that are pure Truck Month dog trash.
Yeah, it is quite a few.
That's an incredible number, and if we're counting, El Camino as the last good one, or maybe the last one with bangers, that was 2011. That's not that long ago. You know?
I would say if you're a real G, the last good one is Magic Potion.
Yeah,
Right.
Well, I don't know.
Attack and Release is
has
awesome.
Some good songs.
Attack and Release is good, but it was also produced by Danger Mouse and had like that sort of
Attack and
production on it.
Release is like my favorite, actually.
It's very good, but I'm just saying, you know.
I mean, a Delta Cream is good.
Delta Cream's good.
It's much more like low key. Like it's very chilled out blues.
Yeah.
That's probably like the last good thing that they've made. But like of original music, I would still give it to El Camino.
I would give it to El Camino
because
for sure.
we've got Turn Blue, which came after El Camino. Everybody's like, let's go. Then it's Turn Blue. Let's Rock.
Yeah.
Come on.
We didn't.
Dropout Boogie.
Yeah. I mean, like I said in our Ohio Players review, are the last albums any good? I don't know. I didn't listen to those.
And then
records.
there was one that came out last year that we just didn't review.
No
called
Rain, No Flowers.
No Rain. I didn't
Yeah.
even know that.
I ended up listening to it. It's very pop rock.
Is it?
Like the title track sounds like a Maroon 5
God,
song.
Get out of
damn.
here.
And like
It's
it
unbelievable.
even makes El Camino. It makes like Gold on the Ceiling sound like Sabbath.
Wow.
Oh God.
No Rain, No Flowers, more like no care, no give a shit. I don't know.
Nice.
I had
There you go.
something
There
better
we
in my
go.
head and I forgot
Yeah.
it.
Like there's a song on that album called Man on a Mission, and it's like parody level stuff, Cross.
Wow.
There's a song called Kiss It on there.
Kiss
There it
It.
is.
I wonder
Yeah.
what are they
It
kiss?
is.
Yeah, I wonder what
Yeah.
it could be.
It's a bag of money.
Yeah, Kiss
Kiss
It.
It. Yeah.
Anyways, we're reviewing Peaches today, and two out of the three of us on this podcast were fooled by this.
Yeah, so the reason like we were like we're gonna review the new Black Keys album. They put out some singles. Those singles sounded pretty good. When it came out on Friday, I listened to it and I was like, "Damn, this is interesting." Because it has this classic blues rock sound. The songwriting is classic blues rock. I'm like, they are back to their roots. And then
Meanwhile, if either of us did any reading
no,
or knew anything about like Delta blues
Yeah.
and like ye old shit, we would know.
it's
So
a cover.
all-
It's a covers record.
It's all
One of
covers.
us knew that.
Yeah, this
Who knew? I didn't.
one person.
Yeah.
We're not gonna like totally out anybody because I think this is a safe space. But one of us knew.
Yes.
Well, he just said
I
that it
outed
was-
myself.
One of us knew,
Yeah.
and two of us didn't.
Well, it's something that they do from time to time, and I
Yeah.
think they do pretty well. Like
Yeah.
Chulahoma, if that's how you pronounce it,
Chulahoma.
is a really good EP.
Mm-hmm.
And Delta Cream, I liked. It's not. I don't like it as much as I like Chulahoma. It's a little more like chilled out, and those are all Junior Kimbrough
Yes.
songs. And then seeing this like. It's very much like Delta Cream. Like it has like a William Eggleston photo on the front of it, and it's all covers. And I was probably at least more excited for this than even knowing it was covers, than thinking that they were making more music after hearing No Rain, No Flowers.
I was excited because I thought they were writing these songs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I got duped.
I was excited thinking that it was their original material. I even put out like an SOS on Instagram. I was like, "This is great.
Might need to
Black
retract.
Keys are back." And then like people were messaging me and they were like, "How is it good?" I'm like, "Dude, there is no alt rock on this thing. This is straight blues." And then I was like, "Oh,
Look
it's a
out, Jack
covers
White.
album." Yeah, I really was like, "Oh wow, look out, Jack White." But then finding out it was a covers record, I was disappointed, but I was also like, I like Chulahoma a lot, and the last thing I've liked that they've done was Delta Cream. So it was kind of like this new thing in my head where it's like, okay, this is the third time they've done this. And they've also put out a couple EPs, like just like Record Store Day vinyl things that were covers. It's like, this is, if they do this every once in a while, then, I think it deserves to be like canon in their discography, and they do it really well, like you
Yes.
said. So like I was kind of excited to just hear, like it's just stuff you can put on and really have like a no skip like hour with.
This is the most fun I've had listening to this band
Yes.
in 15 years.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Like it is a covers record, but they bring their own like thing to it.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Well, the thing that they used to do, like
Yeah.
back in the day, they had 6 sounding guitars on everything, and Dan Auerbach's voice sounds sick, and Pat Carney's doing like his thing too, so it's like that's what made them. It almost sounds like they're two-piecing it, even though they're not.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, they're like more filled out. Like you go, like I went back and listened to Rubber Factory after this, and it's like it's definitely more filled out. It's not as lo-fi.
Yeah.
But it captures like what you kind of remember those albums being like, you know what I mean? Like there's enough distance to it where I'm like, damn, this is just like 10 a.m. Automatic.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, no, it's not, because 10 a.m. Automatic's like super dirty and super lo-fi.
Even more so than Delta Cream, because Delta Cream like feels like they like went in to record those covers. This feels like they were just like fucking around one day and like
they just got done with Rogan, and
they just got done with Rogan. They were just bored one day, and they just happened to lay down some fucking thunder.
Yeah, they
bought
came right out of the cold plunge and put Carney back behind that fucking set.
They mainlined some Black Rifle coffee, and fucking made it
Alpha
happen.
Brain.
They had that mushroom coffee stuff. Yeah, the coffee that's made out of cow shit or whatever.
And then hung out with Tony Hinchcliffe.
They went on Kill Tony.
And hung out.
They laughed to racist jokes.
So after that, they got in and they cut some fucking good ass blues rock songs. It reminded me of all the elements that have they've kind of washed over with all that production. You know what I mean? Like Dan's great blues guy voice.
Yes.
Kind of gets
back.
lost in that like alt rock. We're just trying to make pop songs. The guitar tones, like these like vintage amps, they sound so fucking cool.
Yes.
And then like Pat Carney's like kind of like unstable rhythm section.
That's one thing I really loved about this was that like his drumming, like you can hear him kind of like fucking up the starts and ends of some of these songs, and it's kind of it gives the whole thing a really live feel. Also, the guitar tones being so as consistent as they are, and the sound being as consistent as it is, it feels like he's like trying to find his place in all of it, which is like it's neat that it's not so cut and dry.
Can I put something on the record really quick?
Sure.
Pat Carney's not a good drummer.
We've talked about this before.
I know, and I just wanted to say too, you said he's trying to find his place in it. He's been trying for like 30 years.
Yeah, but technically, yes, he's not a good drummer, but similar to Meg White, I think that they bring something to the music that wouldn't otherwise be there if you had like just a studio musician coming in.
Some beast back there.
Yeah, he has like...
He looks fucked up when he plays drums.
It looks painful when he's playing drums.
Like when
He's
the
just
Howlin'
so
for
large.
You thing, like, could easily be like over here, but for some reason he chooses to do this, and it, like, dude, and he's fat now too, so that's crazy.
Yeah, there's like a feel to it that like is there because of the like his lack of proficiency,
herky
or whatever.
jerky,
It gives it like a cool vibe.
It used to everything he did used to like really serve the song because it was they had such a limited amount of musicians in their band, and then as they expanded it, like I feel like as they expanded, the drums started to become more of like the sore thumb and everything, because it was like you got these great players plus Dan being like probably above everybody else as a blues man,
just a general musician.
And then you have Pat Carney, who's like just still at the same level as he was.
Amazing with how much drums he's played ever. He hasn't gotten any better.
It's probably
That's incredible.
Just a part of growing. He just keeps growing. He is
tall as fuck.
But like they have an interplay between the two of them as players that is really interesting. Like there's a couple songs on here where like Dan's really locked into what the drums are doing, like with like those like upstroke rhythms. And that has to be, if you were another guitar player, that would be tough to do with Pat Carney, because you're like, why aren't you locked in? But like they have such a musical shorthand that it ends up sounding like cool.
Yeah, true.
I feel like they're two guys that like have kind of tried to get away from each other, but just kind of can't.
Well, they did the Arcs. Dan Auerbach did the Arcs.
Dan Auerbach did the Arcs. I think Pat Carney tried his hand at like being a producer a little bit here and there. He may have been in another band. But yeah, like the Black Keys have always been a band where you kind of hear rumors that they're breaking up or things are kind of like rocky with ticket sales or whatever it is, but like they just keep making album after album, and then they bust out something that really shows that they still have this like great musical connection and collaboration like this, and you're just like, okay, if they wanted to write something like this, they probably could, but for some reason we just don't get this stuff in their original songwriting.
Yeah, there's like I'm sure that the success of Brothers created this pressure to be that.
Yeah, all the time.
And the further they get away from just being like kind of like a hipster ZZ Top.
Yes.
The less good it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they just like there's a couple songs, there's one riff on here in particular that kind of sounds like Sharp Dressed Man, and it made it all come together. It's like, they should just be like Instagram generation ZZ Top.
Yes.
They kind of are. I mean, we might have to just declare that right here on the show. I mean, that's almost as good as anti-coworker music.
Dude, I am a
you are
professional
kind of on
podcaster.
fire tonight.
Yeah, you're killing it, dude.
With Instagram
Terminology.
era ZZ Top. That is the Black Keys.
Yeah.
Because like ZZ Top, they're like a group of guys that like, you know, just kind of can't. They have this connection. Like you would think that they're all brothers, but they're not. It's fucking just guys with long beards.
Just giant ass beards.
Yeah.
It's the only thing holding them together.
Every
Yeah.
time, like Pat Carney's like, every time I'm out, they pull me back in.
Exactly. He kind of has
Dan
that
pulls
fucking,
me back in.
He gets pulled back in by our back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like a band that at this point you've proven like I don't want to hear you stretch out musically or sonically at least.
Yeah.
No.
I just want you guys riffing and singing.
Yeah.
This kind of like cover series might be just like the thing that they feel like they have to do. You know what I mean? Like it might be like, okay, when it comes to writing original music, it has to sell. We have to focus, you know, on writing these songs and making them accessible. But we can always fuck around with some of those old classics, those old standards.
Did people buy like the whatever the fuck the one thing was called? Like, did people buy that? You
Ohio
think?
Players?
No, yeah. What?
Chulahoma?
No, Ohio Players. Like the last original thing they put out.
No Rain, No Flowers.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably did better than 98% of rock bands.
Yeah.
if I
Yeah.
had to guess.
Yeah.
True.
They're
But
probably not doing Camino Brothers numbers.
I don't know
Yeah.
though. There's all that shit with them having to like cancel a bunch of tour dates and stuff.
Yeah,
so,
I
like,
don't think did that ever get resolved?
No.
They
I
don't
don't
think
think
they ever like issued refunds or whatever. They were like, the tour's going to be smaller now. I don't think that tour ever happened.
Well, I think they just went to smaller venues because
Yeah.
I think they were originally supposed to play either PPG or
An arena.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
amphitheater, and now they're playing Stage AE.
Yeah.
Oh, they are.
They downsized.
Dude.
Yeah.
I would go. Are they
They're
actually
coming in
They're coming.
August.
Oh, dude, I'm going.
I'm in, especially if they're playing shit like this.
If they're playing shit like this, I'm totally going.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, like this album would make me excited to go to an outdoor show to see the Black Keys and like buy the vinyl and put it on and just have it fucking spin. You know,
Yeah.
like this is the type of shit that they should be doing with their original music, but they're not.
Yeah.
No.
But it's still cool that we get it and we can kind of pretend
that it's
that it
theirs.
is.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's Led Zeppelin borrowed
Exactly.
heavily.
It's the same
Yeah,
thing.
true.
Yeah. As far as like songs on this album that I really liked, I mean, When There's Smoke, There's Fire, the opener is great. I would say it is kind of hard to like pick some of them out of the pack because of how like consistent the sound is and how like kind of similar all the songs are, but
Stop Arguing Over Me, I liked it a lot.
that's probably my favorite.
Yeah, that's one where like the vocal line follows the riff,
Yeah.
and then like at the end of the line it hits like this organ sting.
Yeah.
Just sounds really fucking cool.
Tomorrow Night and Tell Me You Love Me also are like pretty fucking sick.
Tomorrow Night has a very
Yeah.
sick riff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much everything like you said, there's not as there aren't like the singles that you would get off of like one of their classic older records.
It's a headphones record.
It is.
Yeah.
It's really like just put it on in your car and drive.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just gonna be a fucking like I drove like to and from work. Just it felt good, dude.
Imagine
the
how
sun's out
good
and
I-
sick Black Keys music
Yeah,
is
dude.
happening.
Imagine
again.
how good I felt when I was listening to this. I'm like, dude, they're back.
That's what I thought, dude. I was so excited, and someone in the chat, I think it was you, that was like, but they took the note from Jack White,
Yeah, that was.
and I was
yeah,
like, yes, they did.
they did. They went
Makes
back
so
to the
much
shit.
sense,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
And I was
And-
like, Chulahoma,
Chulo,
dumbass.
Well, I thought you were just saying that it was.
Yeah, I
like
did too.
It, you know.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's what I used to. That's what the Black Keys used to be for me. Was just like they were the band that you could put on anywhere, anytime, from start to finish, and everything would be cool, like fitting the vibe,
Yeah.
especially for driving, especially just for like, just putting on anywhere and make you feel badass, and you could just, you could just have it on and just chill, Put like it's perfect for like it's the reason this kind of music is the reason why you go to a record store and buy vinyl. 'Cause,
Yes.
like it's stuff that you don't have to fucking press play and be like, I like this one. It's just like they're all good. Just
Yeah.
leave it on. You know.
Yeah. I mean, and also that shows, like, I don't know. And maybe I would if I saw who their songs were actually by, but, like, I didn't obviously recognize any of them.
Yeah, I'm not.
But it kind of shows how, like, deeply, like, how in-depth students they are of, like, music and, like, the blues in general.
100%.
I think the blues in general in 2026 gets panned as, like, bullshit most of the time because that is, like... It was such a big thing for, like, our heroes, and then, like, 50, 60 years pass, and everybody's like, oh, the blues, whatever. But, like, these guys genuinely, clearly love the shit the same way that, like, Jimmy Page loved the blues, too. So I can appreciate that. They're pulling these covers out of, like, God knows where. They have, like, the ball knowledge that, like, nobody today really has, unless you're, like, really in deep, so that's really impressive to me.
Yeah, and the ability to pull it off well.
Yeah.
Because, like, the blues is all feel.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
the guitar playing, the vocal style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't have many vocalists that can pull off this stuff the way that Dan Auerbach does.
Yeah,
No,
he's a beast.
He's great.
And, like, hearing this stuff it reminds me of how I felt when they were on that, like, first 6 album run.
Yes.
Yeah.
To where you were just like, they could do this forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
And then they kind of fucked it up for like a decade and a half. And you
Yeah,
were
like
maybe
10
they'll-
albums.
Maybe they'll never do it ever again.
Yeah.
But I remember She Does It Right is the song that reminds me of Sharp Dressed Man. And that's the feeling that I had. Like, I was like, damn, this is just like fucking Thick Freakness. Like, they
It's-
could just churn these out.
It's
Yeah.
the story of millennial ZZ Top.
Yeah,
The journey.
Gen ZZ
Gen Z-
Top.
Gen-
It's been there the whole time, dude.
Dude,
Yes.
what is going on tonight with
Yes.
this? Is good. That's good stuff.
We are
Gen
locked
ZZ
in.
Top is
Gen
fucking
ZZ
amazing.
Top.
Yeah,
Mr. President, I'd like to report that the boys are locked in.
we're locked in. Should we just CA it?
Yeah.
I feel like we've done it.
Yeah.
A second pun has hit the podcast.
Second pun.
It's at the- yes, it's
Let me
good.
kick it off.
Yeah, kick it off.
Yeah, like it. I'm sure it's similar to how you felt with Jack White, in just it's obviously not the same level because they're not original songs, but it was just so refreshing to be able to turn on like music from a band that I at one point like loved,
Yeah.
and haven't connected with anything that they've put out for so long. To just be like, damn, remember this? Remember 2013 when shit was better?
Remember when you didn't
Yeah.
have bills?
Yeah, remember when I had hair and I
Yeah.
could listen to fucking rock music? Yeah, it's kind of like, it's almost fascinating in how much different this is than the music that they've been putting out more recently, but how similar it feels to what they used to do.
Yeah.
And it does just feel like they have a switch that they could flip and just do what they used to do really fucking well.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a great fun listen. It's something that I'm going to come back to, like 100%.
Yeah.
The like you kind of grade it on a curve because it is covers, but I'm sure that if we heard the originals, they'd be like these dusty ass recordings.
Yeah, on a 78.
Yeah, with like just one mic in a room and a guy being like, "Oh well."
Yeah, that's what the blues fucking are.
Yeah, 100%. Like I remember like getting into the blues, and they're like, "You got to listen to Robert Johnson." And it's just
it's like it's like from this far away.
One down the right road.
Yeah.
So like they are bringing their own thing to it. Like
Yeah.
like that is Dan Auerbach's guitar. Those are Pat Carney's drums. That is his vocal. So like it's more than just like covers. It is like a interpretation of this stuff, which is cool as well. Really liked it. I don't think I can go much higher than this because they are covers, but I'm gonna go 7-2.
7-2.
Nice.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with everything Evan said. I mean, it's obviously not close to what Jack did because Jack wrote all the songs, and these two bands are compared to each other quite often because they were both like 2-piece bands coming up around the same time, and they had beef and blah blah blah. We've talked about that a million times. Color scheme, etc. But I agree, it is refreshing to hear them do it, and I operated for about 45 minutes thinking the boys were fucking back, and so I don't want to use it being covers to taint what I listen to and or skew it negatively, but I mean it is. I mean maybe they can still write shit like this and they're choosing not to, which is, if you look at their covers records versus their albums, it's clear that they're pushing an agenda when they put out original music.
The agenda is get paid.
The agenda is Old Navy.
Yes.
So, it's interesting the choices they're making to do when they're doing this type of stuff, like strategically, marketing wise, whatever. They're a big fucking thing that makes a lot of people money. So, I like that, and this seems like a thing that's for them because they're, like I said, they're ball knowers. They know shit. And so the record sounds really good. Both of them sound good playing, even if Patrick Carney sucks at drums. But it sounds really good. So I was entertained listening to it, and I think I still will be, even though now I know that they are all covers. That being said, I'm gonna give it a 6.9.
6
out of 10.
9. Jage is not going above the
Not
6.
doing 7 today.
He's not touching
Nope.
the 7.
Nope.
Originals only past 7.
Yeah, there's a couple ways you can score this record.
Yeah.
You could think of it as the covers album, or you could think of it as just a record by the Black Keys. Like there's like, your like left brain, right brain kind of thing. For me, I mean, it's hard to score it because of that. Because if this was just a record by the Black Keys, I would be giving it a very, very, very good score.
Yes.
But it is a record by the Black Keys, and it is good, and it did give me all of the emotions that you were talking about. Like it's a lot of deep nostalgia putting this on.
100%.
Was just like when they were the fucking premier band, and it was like you were cool if you listened to the Black Keys, and I felt that, and it was like it does like put the respect back on their name a little bit, and the fact that they keep covering Junior Kimbrough with no one in the world knowing who that is, like that, you gotta respect that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really liked it. I wouldn't say I loved it or anything because of like, I don't really know the songs that well, but it's like you could either give this like an 8.5 or like, you could give it the cover rub of like it's a covers album.
The cover rub.
So, I'm it's tough for me because I'm either giving it the left brain is, this is a covers album, and that's why the songs are good. But it's an album by the Black Keys, but it's a covers album. That's my 7.5 brain. If it's just take it for what it is, it's an 8.
Split the diff.
But I think I'm gonna go 7-7.
What if you're like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I'm
Yeah.
gonna go 6-2.
I think I'm gonna go 6-2. I think that's the same score as I gave Whip Critic, but just a 7-7 night, dude.
It's just Gen ZZ
It's
top.
just
Hell
Gen
yeah.
ZZ
Yeah,
top.
yeah,
It's
no-brainer.
it's a 7.2 though.
7.2.
Yeah, 7.2 Gen ZZ top. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel very similar.
Yeah.
Like if it was just like authorship of the music,
Yeah.
it is high. It's like
would
an
be
8.
high.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
really
sick.
fucking good.
Yeah.
But like also, if you were able to draft your all-star team and play a game with them, then you're gonna win a lot of games.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
That's that's the hitch in the whole thing.
That
It's
is
like,
the hitch.
Can you give it a respectable 8.5 or an 8, or is it a soft 8.0, which is truly a 7.5, which might be a 6 if you really think about
I
it.
lost your accounting like 2 in. But
I'm just trying. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
But to your point of like the ball knowledge, like if I pulled my all-star team, my band would be trying to like cover Enter Sandman.
Yeah.
It would sound like shit.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, well, that
Yeah,
sucks.
That sucks.
good point.
But they were able to pull cool shit that not a
Yeah.
lot of people know,
Yeah.
reinterpret it into their vibe, and you're like, oh, hell yeah.
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 Good point.
Might be one of the only times the Black Keys gets a hell yeah on the channel.
For the rest of time.
So let's hope that whatever they come back with next year, if it's going to be original music, that they fall in line a little bit.
100%.
Yeah.
They watch the pod. They say it's a little more Peaches, a little less
Yeah.
Ohio players.
Maybe the pod will be at Joe Rogan level by the next time they put
Yeah.
out a review.
by the way,
an album.
tickets to their show are $80. So
I'd have to check the set list.
Trying to decide if that's worth it or not.
I know,
Yeah.
me too.
I would have to take a look and like see how much of the back catalog they're playing.
I'm gonna
If
put
they're
on my
hitting me-
calendar Black Keys question
Yeah.
mark.
Yeah, if they're hitting me with a lot of like 3 songs from Dropout Boogie,
Yeah.
I'm like, get
Yeah.
the fuck.
Yeah.
You're giving me Let's Rock. You know?
Yeah. How about let's not?
Oh,
I was going back and listening to some of the newer records, the late career records.
The bad era.
They're really not that bad. Like Let's Rock is really not that bad.
no, they're just a little generic. Like,
yeah,
I
they're
like,
very generic.
Stock.
Yeah,
like
it's stock.
I gave Ohio players like I think somewhere in either the high 5s or low 6s.
Yeah,
and like yeah, they were working with Beck and they were trying to like do the Danger Mouse thing again.
it's like their weirdest one in a while.
Yeah.
you know. But Let's Rock is still like just kind of alternative rock, blues, right in there. It just is too like nicely produced. You know,
100%.
they did something that made them famous, and they don't do it anymore.
What if it was let's suck?
I would
Alright.
be even more excited to listen to it.
But yeah, I re-listened to like Rubber Factory today,
The Rubber Factory's the best.
and you're just like, this is the coolest shit.
It's so good, yeah. Well, that's it, folks. Peaches. But I don't even know if we said the name of the record.
Peaches.
by the Black Keys. It's a 7.2 Gen ZZ top. Hell yeah. Out of 10. A rare hell yeah for the Black Keys on
Yeah.
this channel. Go check it out. Let us know in the comments what you thought. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok for podcast clips and comedy skits. Get the shirt in the description. Support the show. Follow us on Patreon. $5 a month to become a quitter. We're watching Some Kind of Monster. The last part, the second half, will be out in a week. Not this week, not this Sunday, but the Sunday after. So go do all of that shit I just said.
God damn it. Please.
And we'll be squared away. So thanks. Goodbye.